G'day everybody and welcome back to the channel, and as always I hope you're doing well. I've just got home from work and I've got a delivery here that I've been waiting on for about a month now, and I'm super stoked. So I'm going to show you guys what that is before we go and chuck it on the beautiful MT09. But it's right here guys, and it's none other than the S1 exhaust from SC Projects. I'm so happy that this delivery is here. I've been waiting for about a month now. Had to come from Italy. They didn't have any of these in Australia when I ordered it, so it took a bit longer than I thought, but it's finally here. I cannot wait to get it on the MT09 and listen to what this thing sounds like and how it looks. Unfortunately, I've just got home from work this afternoon and I've got work again tomorrow morning. Something tells me that this isn't going to be just a quick 5-minute install, so I'm probably not going to be able to start it right now, but I figured I've already opened it and had a quick peek in there, but I figured why not open it up and give you guys a look at what we're dealing with here. So let's have a look at the S1 exhaust from SC Projects. Got some instructions here and some stickers, so we won't need them. But here we've got some header pipes, a bunch of them. Bag here with a few bits and pieces. Got some flanges there for all the header pipes. Got some other bolts and other mounting stuff in there that we'll need. And then we have another box in a box. So this is going to be the best bit of the whole thing. Isn't that beautiful? Man, that is going to look so good underneath this bike. So the day's finally here guys, I've got some time, going to get this new exhaust on. I've laid everything out here on the ground, all the bits and pieces there ready to go. I've even slipped the header pipes, mid pipe and the actual muffler together to have a quick look of how it's going to look, and man, it's going to look unreal on this bike. But obviously first things first, I've got to get the existing exhaust off the MT09. The instructions aren't that detailed, so I'm going to be winging it. I think there's only just a few pictures really, there's not much to go on. I think I'll have to take off these side pieces here up near the radiator, possibly the radiator cover, just to get access to the header pipe area in there and get all those bolts undone. I'll jump straight into it, get this old exhaust off. The reason that I took these side panels off to get some more access is, you can see right up there, that bolt right there. Try and undo that one, and the idea is this radiator should be able to tilt out and give me more access to the header bolts in here. It was a bit of a struggle, but I got in here and finally cracked it, and I can get it with my fingers now, so I should be able to get that out. Tilt the radiator forward, and then I should have some easier access to these header bolts and get it off nice and easy. So there we go, the original exhaust is all off now. I don't have any scales to weigh them unfortunately. The original one is definitely slightly heavier than the SC Projects exhaust. Not by much, but definitely a little bit of weight saving that's going to happen here. Now you would have seen me undo that 10mm bolt to get that radiator tilted to get better access to those header bolts. Another thing that I did that I didn't film, I wanted a bit more access to make it a lot easier. So I undone the top mounts here. I just grabbed a zip tie to pull that radiator up as high as I could. There's one there and there was one on this side as well. Just these bolts here. Was it necessary? Probably not. I probably could have still got access with some different tools, but doing that I found that made that a lot more easier to get in there and undo those header bolts. Time to get this brand new one together and slap it on. Hopefully it goes on just as easy as that came off. We should be done in not too long and we can get it on the road and listen to this thing. All the header pipes are on. I've just hand tightened all the nuts on there just so they had a bit of freedom to move around so I could get this mid pipe on. I've slid that on there. Now I'll get the muffler, get all that on. So I want to get it all together before I go fully tightening up any of the nuts and bolts. That way it can all move around freely before it's all in place. I wouldn't want to go and fully tighten all these up because then you're not really going to have the movement to get the next piece on, and it might bind up the whole exhaust and not sit properly. So that's my plan anyway. So far it's working well. We're getting close, guys, we're almost done, but have a look at this thing. I reckon that looks beautiful in my opinion. Let me know down in the comments below what you think, if you think this looks good and suits this bike, or if there's a different brand that you would pick for your MT09. As I said, almost there. All the nuts and bolts on here, the headers down here to these mounts, it's all tightened up, ready to go. The last thing that I've got to do before I tighten up all the radiator bits that are undone is, here it is. This is the last thing I've got to do before I nip it all back up. This is the O2 sensor extension cable that comes with the kit. So this right here is where the O2 sensor goes, but on the original one, it was around the other side of the bike. So this is it hanging here that I've undone. So I have to backtrack that up here, and now I'm assuming it's that clip that I undo. This one will jump in there, probably around the other way, jump in there, and extend to that one to be able to get to the other side. Now, I don't really want it dangling down underneath here, looking all silly, so I have seen another video online, and what he done is run this cable up here, across the top somewhere, over here, just to keep it all out of the way, rather than have this cable just cut across here and dangle down to the bottom here to look silly. I'll try my best to work out a nice neat way for it to go up through here, and then we'll be done. We'll put this radiator cover back on, get these shrouds back on, and be time to fire her up. So I've rerouted this O2 sensor cable. It did start here. This is where it originally went. It went down and then into the exhaust on this side on the original one. But now I've had to undo a few zip ties and some tape, where it was taped to this wire that's here. And this is where it starts now. It goes back up inside there above the radiator. So you can't really see it, it's nice and hidden. And then it pops back out down here and comes in here, and that is the extension plug just there. And then it runs down in behind all this and pops out into the exhaust there. It's nice and tidy, I think. You can't really see it hanging out. It would look silly if I just went straight from here out underneath all the headers and up on the other side. So a bit of fiddling around there with cutting some tape and zip ties. I've chucked a few extra zip ties that I had laying around back on. Still nice and tight and snug. Looks good, out of the way. Happy with that. So all that's left to do now is get these side covers back on. And we're good to go, guys. Well guys, I really hope this camera audio does that justice. That sounds so good. That's plenty loud enough for me. That's with the DB killer still in it. I think that'll stay in there. With that out, I think it would be too loud and probably just get annoying, especially on those long rides. So that thing sounds awesome. All that's left to do now is get out on the bike and actually go for a ride. Might get the camera and set it up on the side of the road and do some ride-bys, get the sound of that for you guys as well. But super happy with the look. It looks unreal in my opinion. Sounds unreal. Get out on the bike, go for a run, and see how she goes now. So here we are, everyone, out on the road. The new S1 exhaust. Been riding for about 10 minutes and I'm in love. This thing sounds so good. Hopefully the audio from the helmet does this thing justice. But it sounds beautiful. It is definitely loud. This is even with the DB killer in it, and it's still plenty loud. I definitely will not be removing that. Otherwise I think it'd be way too loud. You just get sick of it. When you're into it, it's definitely really loud. I wear earplugs all the time, so it's not too big of an issue. But when you're just cruising and you're half throttle, like, that's loud. Once you're up to speed and you're just cruising, it's at about 4,000 reps or so, it's actually not too bad with earplugs in, so I think it should be still okay. Hopefully on the freeway it's still okay. Do a bit of freeway work on this thing, so we'll see how that goes another day. But just heading out the back here, find some quieter roads and hopefully set the camera up, get some ride-bys for you so you can actually hear what it sounds like. But I love it on the downshifts. Get some crackling, some popping going on. It sounds unreal. This stretch here looks like a perfect place to set the camera up and do some ride-bys, so stand by.
So that wraps things up, guys. That's the install of the S1 SC Projects exhaust and a quick little test ride and some sounds there for you to enjoy. I absolutely love the thing. I think it looks amazing on this bike. It really sets it off. I'm in love all over again. But quick mention that this isn't a sponsored video at all, guys. I've paid for this exhaust with my own money, so take of that what you will. If you want to go and buy one of these, help yourself. It doesn't bother me whether you do or not, but it's the exhaust that I wanted. I really wanted this one, mainly because of the look. Lots of the other brands, the pipe ends up coming up a lot higher here near the rear tyre, and I just don't like that look. I wanted to keep it as much underneath the bike as the stock exhaust as possible, and I found the SC Projects S1 was the one for me in that department, and it sounds amazing too, so couldn't be happier. Absolutely stoked. Thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the install and the sounds of this. Maybe you want to go and get yourself one for your MT09. But either way, guys, I'm getting back on the bike and heading home. Cannot wait to ride this thing some more. So thanks again, guys. Like the video, subscribe if you want to see some more videos to do with motorbikes. Catch us in the next one, guys.